Alright, so lesson 10 of this is going to be almost identical to what we learned in lesson 9. We're still working with dividing terms with exponents. The difference in this one is that in the last lesson, all of your problems would have dealt with having the biggest exponents on the top of the problem, on the top of the equation. Let me write it out so you can see. So in all of your questions last lesson, possibly even in the same day, you would have been dealing with a question like y cubed divided by y squared. And we can easily be like 3 minus 2, that means we're left with just one y. But what happens when the bottom term is the one that has the bigger number of exponents? So instead of this problem, we have y squared divided by y cubed. Well, honestly, not a lot. Instead of subtracting from top to bottom, we just subtract from bottom to top. So, and we can just realize that like factors don't really care which side of the equation the factors are on. Y times y, same as y squared, and y times y times y, well, we can still just cross out y divided by y is 1, get rid of those, y divided by y is 1, and we're left with 1y on the bottom. So the answer to this question would be 1 divided by y. Very simple. I will give you another problem and you can solve it along with me, or I'll just solve it, whichever you want to do it. This should feel pretty similar to what you were just doing though. Alright, so here's another one. Let's do a divided by a cubed. What's that one going to be? Well, you can write it all out, and this is why I feel like it's helpful to be doing the factoring version and writing it all out. So we have on the top 1 factor of a, and on the bottom we have 3 factors of a. So when we factor out one of those a's, that means we're left with 1 over a times a, which is a squared. And that's our answer. And once again, we could just do this with simple subtraction problem. 3 minus, remember there's our imaginary 1 there, 3 minus 1 is 2, and so that means that the bottom factor has 2, and the top one just becomes 1. So I'm going to give you an equation that I want you to solve, and then I will work it on the problem. So just pause the video after you have solved this problem. Let's do 16 a b squared, and that's divided by 4ab cubed. Alright, pause the video, solve this problem. It shouldn't take you too long. And then restart the video and I will solve it with you. Alright, so to solve this problem, remember, let's just start with the numbers. So 16 divided by 4, well, 4 goes into 16 4 times, so that's pretty simple. Now looking at our first set of factors, a and a, we only have one a on the top and one a on the bottom. So a divided by a is 1. Those ones cancel out. We could write in our imaginary 1 if we want to. We'd be like 4 times 1. Okay, and then in this one, let's do the b's. B squared and b cubed. So 3 minus 2 is 1. So that means on the bottom we're going to have, let's write this one as a fraction. On the bottom we're going to have a b, and on the top we're going to have a 1. So 4 times 1 equals 4, and let's just do 4 over 1 really quick so we can solve this fraction side. And 4 times 1 equals 4 divided by b. That's our final answer. Now if you got confused here with the fractions, it's just because I added in this extra one for the a. We could have solved this a different way, and hopefully it's the way you did it, where we just did 4. All the a's cancel out so we don't worry about them, and then we have the b situation, so 4 over 1b. But of course that's a little messy, so if we do that, we could still do the 4 times 1, same situation, just so you can see how it would look to write this very simplified way, 4 over b. Though I suppose 4 times 1b would be an appropriate answer as well. But in general, they will prefer that you write the answers like that. Okay, I have one more question for you, and then you will be working on your homework, and this shouldn't take you too long to do. So let's do this one. 25x squared divided by 5x cubed. Pause the video, solve that problem, and then come back here and we'll solve together. Alright, so 25 divided by 5 would be 5 over 1. Let's just put that over 1 there just in case it helps us out. And then that would be multiplied by x squared and x cubed. So x squared divided by x cubed, we're looking at 3 minus 2 equals 1. So on top we have just 1 as a placeholder, and on the bottom we'll have x. So 5 over 1 times 1 over x equals 5 over x. And that is the answer to that problem. Alright, just work through the problems on your worksheet and you should be set. See you in the next video.